All right, so recently the Wall Street Journal called Northern Virginia the next Napa Valley. I'm out here at Blue Valley Winery out in Fauquier County, and I really wanted to learn about the wine business and how all of this works and why Wall Street Journal would say that. So in this interview, I talked to Stergio here at Blue Valley Winery. I'm down here in the cellar, obviously, and we're going to learn all about the wine business and why Northern Virginia could be the next Napa Valley. So let's get right into the interview. Cheers. Your name, right?
Chris, how you doing, pal?
Good, man. How you doing? So tell me a little bit, about you. You got how the heck did you? Because this place is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking around.
Thank you.
You got the 360 views, and I always tell everybody in the area, this is the nicest winery around. The views are amazing. So how did you get into the wine business here?
So I'm third generation of family making wine. We purchased this estate about 25 years ago, and decided that we want to carry on this tradition. We didn't want to lose our family values. Being a Greek American, this is what is one of our passions.
For sure.
When it comes to this time of the year during harvest season, making our own wine. I was making wine with my father in our basement in Falls Church, where I grew up at. So we love it. This is our passion. This is what we love to do.
Nice. Yeah. Did your family do this back in Greece?
Yes. So my grandfather was back in Greece. My grandfather's from Thessaloniki, Kozani, and they were making wine back in Greece, where my father was making wine too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I love how you brought the family tradition over here and all that, and kept that going. And if you guys don't know, we're out here in Fauquier County, and that's crazy. You bought this land, like you said, 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was about 25 years ago. So my father always used to stick us in the car. He loved the mountains, and he always wanted, because we grew up in Falls Church,
right?
So
yeah.
He always wanted to be out here. And every Saturday, Sunday, we would go and get in the car, and he says, "Hey, let's go out and go look for some property."
Yeah.
And we stumbled across this property. This property is very historic here in Fauquier County. It was owned by the third Supreme Court Justice, John Marshall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's crazy is back in the day, it was probably early 90s, my family used to own that Ford delership on the corner there in Marshall.
Yeah.
And probably the same about this time. There was nothing.
That's
here.
the oldest Ford dealership in North America.
Yeah, Henry. Yeah. They have it's not around anymore, but they had the original documents from Henry Ford over there.
So cool.
Yeah, it is cool. This is a really cool area, but yeah, and this area here, where we're at, if you guys don't know Fauquier that well, they literally don't allow much building in this area, right?
No.
You're not going to see a huge neighborhood or anything.
There's no data centers going on right now here in Fauquier County.
Yeah, exactly. So, what type of wine is this, by the way? This is really good. We were drinking some of this earlier here.
So this is our new vintage of pink. This is a forced carbonated wine made from our Chambourcin, which is grown here on the estate.
Nice, that's awesome.
It's one of our top sellers here.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is. I like chilled wine like this, nice and easy.
It's one of my favorite.
Yeah, and I was telling you earlier, being Irish, if I drink room temperature red wine, my cheeks get bloodshot red, and then everyone is "Are you drunk? What's going on with you?" But I was pulling up and I saw. So you guys have your own grapes out there and everything, right?
Yeah, we grow a lot of these wines are made from the estate here.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 8 different varietals that we grow here on the estate. We have about 12 acres under management right now, and the estate is total 100 acres.
Wow, so is that a full-time gig, just managing all the grapes in general? I can only imagine.
The wine industry, Chris, as you know, is a full-time job. It's like owning your own restaurant. We have the hospitality side of it, and then we also have the farming side of it.
Wow.
So it's a full-time job, 365.
Yeah, so it's not you get here at 9 and head out at 5 and that's it for the day?
No, we don't. We don't have set schedules here.
Yeah, I was talking to your mom earlier. She said something that she was up till 3 a.m. or something the other day.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the wine industry.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, restaurant. I tell people for restaurant industry, wine industry, because like you said, this is also an event place, right? Because I see sometimes you guys are closed for special events. There's a lot of weddings that go on here.
We do a lot of weddings here. We host a lot of weddings, and we're one of the fastest growing regions for weddings and events out here in Fauquier County. The reason why we do so well here is because of our our views here,
Yeah, the
and
views.
then our building too.
Yeah, this building is, if you guys have never been here, you definitely should check it out. The building is absolutely huge. I like the way that when I first came out here, I was like, what the heck? This place is huge. And I've been here before when it was packed. But yeah, I've had a lot of people through the years call me and say, hey, I'm looking to do like an event place. And then it never comes to fruition. It seems like that's really hard to even get the land, even like in Fauquier area, right?
It was really tough in the beginning because Fauquier County didn't want to have as many events at wineries.
Right.
But over the years, we've worked with them. They have their laws, and we abide by them. So we want to make sure that when our customers come here, that they feel comfortable and follow the rules of Fauquier County.
Yeah, right. So there's no like firework shows going off, or
yeah. We're not having any Ferris wheels here, or anything like that. No.
I've seen the Fauquier. One day I stumbled across the Fauquier County winery rules, and I think it said no fireworks shows.
The ordinance is pretty lengthy.
Yeah, well, you got all these horses around here and all that, But so one thing I posted on social media, one of the reasons I reached out to you that went wild on there, and there was all these arguments, was the Wall Street Journal had an op-ed, and they called Northern Virginia the next Napa Valley. And a lot of people were like, that's not true. And I was like, you know what? I've been saying that for a long time. There's a lot of good like wine out here, a lot of good land. Like, why do you think so many people, why do you think they said that?
So Virginia is one of the fastest wine growing regions in all of America. One of the reasons is that it is a true destination spot for people that live in D.C., right, Maryland, and other states that are surrounding Virginia. The demographics here are they really truly love being in the wine region in Virginia. We do have great soils here. Our viticulturists here from Virginia Tech and UVA, they feel like this is the next Napa Valley. Plus, our climate is changing.
Right.
In the past 5 years, I've seen every summer get drier and drier, mm-hmm, and warmer and warmer. As you know, California, it's a very dry climate. Right. So we're on track and on pace to be one of the top wine growing regions in all of the United States.
Yeah, I was down. It was like around Mother's Day last year. I was down at a restaurant in Middleburg, and there was a couple there, and they said they flew in from Florida to go to the wine tasting here. Yeah. And I was like, what? And they're like, we
have people all over the United States that travel here. It is the government's here, of course, right, we're 45 minutes away from the city, so a lot of people come out here and taste wine, and they're very impressed by some of the wineries in the area. Right,
yeah, for sure. Like, I know we'll have a lot of clients want to get into like the Airbnb market out towards Front Royal. Here is a little bit hard because it's expensive, but a lot of them are like from Potomac, Maryland, D.C., even Philadelphia. And do you guys see a lot of people travel here from like D.C. and Maryland to drink wine?
Yeah, so we get a lot of bus tours on the weekend. Weekends are very busy here, as you know, for
right,
all breweries and wineries. But here at Blue Valley, we do get a lot of limos, a lot of bachelorette parties. We host a lot of events here, corporate, weddings, we do it all.
Yeah, the thing I like about this spot is just like being, so I was here one time because you guys got such a huge property. And I was over in the corner there, and this bus pulled in, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And like, was it a 55-passenger bus?
Yes, it was like it looked like something that was going to like downtown DC, for like a tour. And all these people got out, but you really didn't even notice they were here because your property is so huge. And I've been at breweries or wineries where a group just overtakes the whole place.
Yeah,
but this definitely didn't have that feel.
As you see, we have a huge facility here, over 27,000 square feet.
Right,
we're one of the largest wineries in Northern Virginia. We have huge outdoor space. We got a big indoor space.
Right.
We have plenty for multiple buses, not just one.
Yeah. There's plenty of like parking out here. So tell me a little bit more. Like, so this wine right here, because you guys sent me some like canned wine that was really good, and then you ended up telling me after the fact that one of those is like drinking half a bottle. So I was wondering why I was feeling pretty good after drinking that.
So that canned wine that I did, it's a new wine that we did release this past year. It was one of a kind, one off. We're going to see if it works, see how test the market out, see if they like it, and it actually is almost sold out. So
wow, that's awesome.
We really are amazed by it, and our customers really liked it, and they says bring it back again another season.
Yeah, like I would imagine, right? Like if you're doing something like that, then that's opening a whole another business side. Was that a lot of work to put that together?
It is. It's a different aspect than your typical wine being in a bottle and a cork.
Right.
A lot of people want to see that wine in the bottle, but
Yeah.
we decided to do a test pilot with it, and it worked out fantastic.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that stuff was good. One of the things that I also wanted to ask you, like, I'm terrible with wine names. Like, I'm just somebody who just drinks. But like, what's like one of the most popular wines like around the area or just here in general?
So for our estate, I can speak on that or in this region, our Petit Verdot, which is a red, does extremely well here. And we have other varietals. We have 8 different varietals that we grow here, but the Petit Verdot does very, very well here. We've served, my other one is a Sauvignon Blanc, which is my favorite, white. We've served the President of the United States before.
Oh, wow.
Been to the White House many times.
That's awesome.
We do a lot of distribution here in Virginia. We're in all the ABC stores, Total Wines, Costco's, a lot of restaurants. So those are our 2 favorites. And now that we introduced the pink and the canned wine, a lot of more people are asking for that now.
Yeah. So this is the pink right here?
Yes, what we're drinking right here.
Yeah,
we didn't cheers, by the way, before
we got to
we
cheers.
started.
And one thing I got to ask you, so I see a lot of like hardcore wine people.
Yeah.
And they like, stick it up and then they cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. They like, what's the science behind like smelling it and all that?
It's smelling it, just getting an understanding of what your palate is about to take. And once you smell it, you taste or you smell your fruit characteristics. Everybody's palate is different. No one person's palate is the same. So this wine, you might like it, and somebody else might not like it. But it's about smelling it, looking at it, and tasting through it.
Yeah, like this. See, my problem with this wine is I could sit here and like kill this. Really quickly.
This is great summertime wine. I mean, pink. It's one of our top sellers here. People love it. It's a forced carbonated. It's made from, like I said before, our Chambourcin grapes here that are grown on the estate.
How many different types of grapes are out there? Is that even a thing? Or
so we have 4 reds and 4 whites. We have Viognier, we have our Chardonnay, we have a Muscat Attenal, and of course our Sauvignon Blanc. We have our Chambourcin, which is a red, and then we have our Cabernet Sauvignon. And we have Petit Verdot and a Cabernet Franc, which does very well here in Virginia.
Yeah, for sure. Like, so what would, like, if you were to eat, is this like, what would you eat this with?
Oh God, you can have this with so many different things. Thai food would be great. Some Asian food. It's once again, it's on your palate. It's what you like. It's what you think is going to taste well with your food. I mean, I wouldn't put a big bold red with a fish. It wouldn't go hand in hand.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That would be like a Petit Manseng.
Yeah, and I see this bottle here. I see your dad on there with his cowboy hat on. He said he's got his John Wayne look on. So if anybody comes out to the property,
he's our John Wayne of the family. You'll see him here every day.
Yeah. He was actually on a pony when I came pulling in. He jumped over my truck. But that didn't happen. So if you guys are pulling that. So one of the things, like, just wondering about like wine in general, we were talking a little bit about this, is you go to a restaurant, right? And you see $1,000 bottle of wine. And then you walk into 7-Eleven and there's a $10 bottle of wine. Now, I know there's a difference, but like, what's the biggest difference? Is it the age?
It's aging, and it depends on if it's those wines are at the price at that price point at restaurants. Obviously, restaurants have their markup. They got their markup. So, but if you're when you're aging a red wine, it's about how the wine is made, how the winemaker made it in the cellar, how long it's aged for. How long is it before you release it? The vintage date. If it was a good vintage date, it would, the price is going to shoot up a lot more.
Right.
Our bottles are not the $500 to $600 bottle.
Well,
range.
Thank God they're not.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, we wouldn't have that many people visiting us.
But
our most expensive is probably our Celebration. It's $45 at best.
Yeah. But that's a good price. Well, I mean, I've been here before with like a bunch of friends.
It's very fair for the Virginia market.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's definitely a fair price. Now, here's a good question for you. I've always wondered this too. Like, what's good etiquette? So I went on a date one time, and next thing I know, the girl was like, "Let's get 2 glasses of wine." I wasn't paying attention, and I get the bill, and it's $500. So like, if you take,
that's not a cheap date.
Yeah, it was not a cheap date, and so she got me on that one. Come to think of it, I didn't. Yeah. So anyways, long story, but anyways, so what is what's the proper etiquette? So if I'm at a business luncheon and I say, I'm taking care of it, and I say, let's get some wine. What do you think the price range should be at?
I mean, it's how big is the deal?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How big is this deal?
We're talking $10 million winery.
All right, we'll go for a $500 bottle of wine.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but
or if they've signed yet, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
It's all about the signing, right?
Yeah.
There's no real etiquette, Chris. It's all about, once again, it's your palate, and it's what you feel most comfortable about it, and what you want to drink. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. There's wines that I don't like that I've tried. They're $200-$300 bottles of wine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm not crazy about them. I don't like them. There's some wines that they're $40-$50 or $20 that are from Argentina. Those are great bottles of wine.
Yeah.
But it's just, once again, there's the price point. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, plus it depends on the restaurant. I mean, if we're at TGI Fridays, better not less.
Right, we're not breaking out the top shelf over there.
The top shelf liquor. Yeah. So, like, how many different types of wine do you have here?
Oh gosh, we have. I mean, it varies from vintage to vintage. I
okay.
mean,
What's like the oldest that could go back?
I mean, we have wine that is in our library from the day we started.
Oh,
when
wow,
we
that's
opened
awesome.
up here 10 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, so we keep our library wines, and that's what we have for our members.
Right.
We'll have release dates just for those.
So do you have like a membership club?
Yeah, we do have a membership club. We have the Blue Club, and we also have the Cave Club.
Right.
And it's a quarterly pickup in the Blue Club. You can either get a white, you can get a rosé, or you get a mixed case of reds and whites and rosés.
Nice, yeah.
And then we have the Cave Club, which we have a cave downstairs in our cellar.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out.
Absolutely.
So one thing, like, super curious about, because you talk, just get into like the business side of me, right? So you have the building here, right? And then you have the farming side, but like guy, like you said, I've seen your wine at like different, like Total Wine, I saw it there, other places. Like, what is that distribution look like?
So distribution plays a big part.
Right.
Owning a winery. You want to get your name out there, of course. You want people to recognize you outside of your winery. There's a lot of people that live in the metropolitan area. Over 12 million people live here.
Right.
So trying to get your name out there out of 300 wineries plus in Virginia, distribution plays a big role in our business. So we currently distribute right now to Total Wine. They just opened up a new store in Woodbridge, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're going to deliver our wine this Friday. And then about 80 different ABC stores in Northern Virginia. We do Costco's as well too, and many restaurants. Restaurant is a new one that just picked up our Pink is the Maple Room down in Vienna.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, speaking of two things that you mentioned there, you made me think of it is, like, if you're not from the area, Total Wine, I don't know if they're across the country. They're like a behemoth around here.
They're huge.
So I know if you're an act and you go to Jiffy Lube Live and you have like anything over there for sale, I don't know if they make you, but pretty much all the artists will go by there and do like an appearance and sign some of their stuff. And I remember Ryan Reynolds, the actor, was over the one, I think it was in Maryland, because he was putting out some kind of beer or something. So they're definitely huge.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't distribute to like a Jiffy Lube or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
They have, they're getting the least expensive wine.
Yeah, of course, they're made like beer or something. Yeah.
It's mostly beer or they're Tito's,
Right, yeah, of course, yeah.
But, for us, we're very happy with our distribution. We want to be in more restaurants in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And then like Costco, I think I read one time they're like the number one wine seller in the country.
Number one, yeah. They buy a ton of wine from us by the pallet.
That's awesome. Is that hard to like get into, or is that a lot of conversations?
It took us years to get into Costco. I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, they do buy so much wine, and their wine program is so tight that they wanted to have a local winery.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. It's like, right, when you're a Costco and you're buying that, but they kind of can do what they want. Same with like a Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing too, like, so you'd probably tell me I was crazy, because trust me, I'm not doing this. If I was like, hey, I want to start a winery, and then after you punch me in the face, what would you
how many glasses of Blue Valley did you have?
We're talking, we drink this whole thing right now.
Or how many bottles did you have before you
I would
thought of that
imagine it's
idea?
not as simple as you go buy a piece of land and you say, okay, I'm going to the bank and I'm going to go open a winery, right?
It's very labor intensive, Chris. It's the capital that you need to open up a winery.
Right.
You're dealing with four seasons. Here in Virginia, California is different. You got pretty much one season.
You got tourism going on there all year long.
You got to deal with the elements here. Being in the hospitality business, because we are in the hospitality business.
Right.
there's three components of the wine industry. It's especially for us, it's farming, it's making the wine, and it's also, having your events and a tasting room. So it's very, very difficult. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, no, I could only imagine. And so I know I'm getting a little off topic, but you guys, so you actually make the wine here? Because I don't know anything about it.
We have over a 10,000 square foot facility downstairs in our cellar that we imported, or we made custom made tanks just for our winery. We have over 200 barrels that we have aging red wine in right now, and then we store all of our cases here once it's bottled.
That's awesome. That's the cool thing about having like the family-run business and like
everybody's involved at the end of the day.
Yes,
everybody's involved. The whole family.
Yeah, my family my dad and grandfather had a business they sold, and it was good. It was family-run.
Yeah.
It was a good thing to be a part of. Like growing up, it definitely taught me like a lot of work ethic.
I have my daughters working here on the weekends.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. How many kids do you have?
I got 3.
Nice. Yeah,
I got 3 kids.
Are they big into wine too?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not at that age limit yet.
Right. Yeah.
We're not in Greece.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. We're not in Greece. Do you guys ever go travel back there much?
We pretty much every summer. We like to hit different wine regions over there, see how wine is made abroad. And,
right.
Their techniques. What other techniques can I pick up from Greece or Italy or France and see what we can implement their techniques here in Blue Valley?
Yeah, I know the answer what you're going to say, but what's like the best country that makes wine, you think?
Oh gosh, it just depends what region of the world you're in. I mean, Europe is very well known. I mean, you got France, Italy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got Germany making great wine up there too. Greece, the islands.
Yeah.
It's all about your soils. It's all about your climate. So many great spots.
Yeah, for sure. Is it like hard here in Virginia? Are you ever like looking at the season, like the forecast, and being like, man, this is going to be a tough year for our grapes?
This year, I could speak about this year. In the past 2 years, as you know, Fauquier County is still in a heavy drought right now.
Right, yeah.
We haven't had much rain. There's no rain in forecast for now. We're in end of October here.
Yeah. It hasn't rained here in like 2 weeks, and we're like in October, We're
still in a drought. This August was probably the driest that we've had in like 40-something years.
Right.
That helps us out. That has less impact on our grapes, and what it does is it makes the roots fight for more water, and it goes to different layers of the soil to get extract more minerals.
Right. So like you take the grapes, right? Like what's the next step from there? Like here,
we process everything. Everything is done here on the estate.
So you take it down to the basement area.
We take it down to the cellar. We have a crush pad. Everything is processed over there. Goes into a sorting line, and then we meticulously sort through our grapes.
Yeah, and then you bottle it and everything here?
Everything is done here,
crazy.
Chris, on the estate. We don't do anything custom crush, for sending our wines out to somebody else. We do everything here.
Yeah, see, I feel like if I was going to get into this, I would go to Food Line, buy some grapes, and then I would go around.
You got to come here during the harvest, man.
Yeah.
I love Lucy. Let's do it.
I don't see these hands out there farming. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a cool business. I like the event side of it. I think that's really neat. Is it like a lot of weddings and stuff like that?
Do a lot of weddings here, a lot of corporate events. I mean, we host weddings here on Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. Corporate events. Now is the holiday season. We're hosting a lot of them this year. We'll do about over 50 weddings a year here.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think it'd be. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'd like to grow it. I'd like to grow it some more. I mean, I'd like to do about 75 a year. But if we can get to that point in stage, we'll do just fine, because it does help make up for working farming here.
Right. Yeah.
Farming's expensive here in Virginia.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're not from Virginia, it's not like you can just. This isn't, I'm making up a state. This isn't Kansas. You can't just go buy land for dirt cheap,
No. Land is very expensive here. And if you didn't buy it 20, 30 years ago, I mean, it's an uphill battle for you if you want to open up a winery.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier, even 20, 30 years ago, it was expensive to buy land around here,
It was.
Yeah. And so, like, when are usually, like, the weddings, like, on the weekend or during the week? What do people usually prefer?
Yeah, so we have weddings Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. I mean, the holidays too. I mean, when sometimes people want to do it on a Thursday,
right,
or want to do it on a Monday. It just all depends. We don't say no to anybody. We want everybody to be happy here. We have a full event team that works in house here, So we can handle any size wedding from 30 up to 300.
Yeah. Yeah. The cool thing about your guys' spot, family owned business, like local farming, is definitely like a cool spot that everybody should check out. Like I know I pumped you guys up, and this is the first time we've ever met.
Yeah,
so,
first time.
Yeah, and I like the view here is just incredible.
Views are amazing here, Chris. I mean, that's what separates Blue Valley from a lot of
100%.
other wineries in Northern Virginia. It's the views that really capture you here while you're enjoying your favorite bottle of glass of wine.
If you said, if you live in a Falls Church or D.C., Maryland, deep in Northern Virginia, you come out here. Like every
you
time
want to
I
get
come
away
here,
from that hustle and bustle.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, and unwind a little bit.
Right, yeah. No pun intended. I saw what you did there. But yeah, I mean, because I can see the view. Because every time I come here, I see people taking selfies and all that other stuff.
Well, these are the Blue Ridge Mountains. The reason why we came up with Blue Valley was we captured the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we are in a little bit of a valley here.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why we came up with a simple name.
Yeah.
Being Greek, we wanted to get the blue out of there too. So
yeah, definitely.
That's how we came up with Blue Valley Vineyard Winery.
Yeah, for sure. Well, tell me about these 4 here that I'm looking at right now.
So we have here is our Petit Manseng here. Very great wine here that our winemaker has made. We have our Celebration, which is a red blend. Our most popular here in the reds is going to be my dad is wine, Yanni's Reserve.
Let's not get his ego any bigger.
Yeah. The guy jumping with the horse.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
And then I believe that's our Cap Franc.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I've had this one before here. It's really good.
Yeah, very peppery spice. I mean, you got your bell pepper in there.
Yeah. What's your favorite out of all of these?
So the Celebration. I love eating meat. Being Greek, that runs perfect with what we're eating. And,
right.
That does very, very well.
Yeah,
I love it.
For sure, yeah. I mean, so what's your if you were to wave a magic wand, what's your ultimate goal for the place? To just keep distributing wine and growing the event space?
It's getting our name out there more.
Yeah,
a lot of people say, "Hey, I haven't heard about you guys before." I said, "Fantastic! Come on in. Let Blue Valley show you why you need to come back here again, or tell more people about us."
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
It's just about growing social media. Thank you for coming here today.
Of course,
This was super helpful. I mean, I really truly appreciate it. Being a small family owner, a small business owner, whatever presence that we can get into the social media really helps us out. I mean, helps out all Virginia wineries.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good space. I remember the first time I ever came here, I did a tasting. And I was like, man, this wine's really good. And then, then I kept coming back from there. It's I just literally one day came out here and then just was it kind of hooked me on.
We're not in the sweet wine category. A majority of our wines, except 2, are super dry.
Right.
Super dry. And that's what stands us apart from some of the other wineries out there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of great wineries around here. A lot of the breweries are popping up,
A lot of breweries out here,
Yeah.
distilleries, a lot of wineries. I mean, there's over 350 wineries right now in Virginia. I mean,
that's crazy.
It's the fastest wine region.
Yeah.
growing.
I think it was George Mason or somebody. They have a certificate in the wine business now. I
Do
saw
they
were
No
advertising
kidding.
it. Yeah. So, but from what your advice is, it sounds like I shouldn't go take that right now.
I'm not sure.
I'm just kidding.
I'll come with you.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you can learn a thing or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is when people ask me about getting into real estate, I'm like, look, it's a great job. And I'm like, it's 24/7. Same with real estate.
It is. And they want to be comfortable with you. They want
Right.
to be comfortable with the family. They want to feel like this is their home.
Right.
Getting away from here in Virginia, the metropolitan area, we work so hard.
Oh,
Traffic
man.
is a mess all the time. Family life. They just want to unwind here, and we have the perfect space for it.
Yeah, I saw a stat one time that the D.C. area is the hardest working area in the world or something like that.
It's
far
tough.
as hours put in.
It's tough here.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, we're right off of 66. It's a straight shot into the White House, into D.C.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like I said, we're 40 miles away from the nation's capital. So we have a good spot. We have a great location.
Yeah, whenever anyone ever asks me about the market here, I'm like, you know what? If we go down, the rest of the country is going down with us.
I say that all the time to my wife. I tell that to my wife.
Yeah.
If Virginia goes down, the rest of the economy is going to crash.
Yeah, and Virginia does a good job working together, both sides of the aisle. My grandfather was in politics, and so it's always ranked number 1 to have a business by CNBC and all that.
Yeah, you can kind of gauge the market and where it's going if you watch Virginia and see what the rest of the economy is going to do.
All right, so I kind of ask everybody this, what if you were somebody that didn't know the area, like where do you think the best places to live are around here? And you can be biased, you know what I mean?
So
you grew up around here like I did.
I grew up in Falls Church.
Right.
I was born in Alexandria. You know, I grew up over there and I loved it. I loved being around there when I was younger. Right. Having a family now, we live in Haymarket. It's my favorite place to be, you know, because I'm right in between going into the city if I need to, or, you know, going to visit some of our vendors. And I'm close to the winery. So I love Haymarket. You know, Fairfax is another great area to be in as well. Some of the emerging markets here, like you said, we talked about earlier, Culpeper, Fredericksburg, you know, those places are really rapidly growing.
Yeah, there really isn't a bad spot to live here. The only, like, a lot of times the people think like Fauquier, they kind of want a little bit of more like the View area, like the Warrenton area, the charming downtown. But it ain't like it's
Marshall's growing rapidly. I cannot believe it. From 20 years ago, it was just that one little town over there, and there's one restaurant, one gas station, and now it's just like expanded. They built so many brand new homes over there, which I'm proud of, you know, because it helps us out here too.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people fought this is my opinion, like the growth, but inevitably it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And there's no more space. I mean, there's no more land to be built unless you're going up, which, you know, they're not going up.
I don't see them building any skyscrapers around here.
No, that's not going to happen.
So, no, man, I appreciate you having me out. I actually learned a lot about the wine business, and I've learned enough that I will just come here and not open a winery. Yeah. So, no, not that I have the funds to do that. So you guys don't need to worry about it.
I would love to have you open up a winery close by, but it's a lot of work.
It's
exactly. A lot of
work.
I
know you don't want that, because then I'll be calling you every day asking you for advice. So, like, what if someone doesn't know of this place, what would you... I know it's personal preference. What would you suggest they do? Come here, do a tasting? What would be the first thing?
Come here and just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the views. Enjoy the wine. You know, come bring family. Bring your dogs. We got voted one of the best dog places.
Yeah, I saw your awards up front there.
We got a lot of awards here. Wedding Wire, we've won 7 years in a row for having the best wedding venue in Fauquier County.
Yeah, I'm sure the photographers love coming out here because of the views.
Look at this. We're at peak foliage right now, Chris. Yeah. I mean, it's like the best time to be here. Yeah. You got a couple more weeks, guys. Come out and visit us.
Yeah, for sure. I like and your dad would show me the picture of his parents, your grandparents earlier. I like the family feel.
It's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad is here all the time. My mother is here all the time. It's all a family, and our customers truly like to see that.
Yeah.
And they appreciate that. I mean, they feel like they're one with Blue Valley, and that's what we want here.
Yeah, definitely. I love that feel. Yeah, that's kind of like the old school, like
Northern
Virginia.
It's like Cheers. Everybody knows each other, right?
Yes. Hopefully, we'll all become famous like Woody Harrelson and all
exactly.
that. Yeah, I like it. I like how your mom was coming over here, you know, telling us like, "Oh, this is the perfect spot. This is the yeah." They're definitely like involved, man. Well, I appreciate you having me.
Chris, thank you so much, man. This was a true honor. I really appreciate this. Thank you for supporting small businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, we're a big follower. We love you guys. I mean, the Chris Colgan group, you guys are amazing.
See, he knows what to do. He knows how to kiss up to me. You know
keep doing what you're doing, man. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, man. I thanks for having me. You know, I kind of asked you on a whim on Instagram, and I definitely think we're going to be good friends from here on out.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to keep getting this wine,
keep getting wine. Exactly. Keep coming back. No problem.
Yeah, so definitely, guys, subscribe. I'm going to link below all their information for Blue Valley. Great place. I would definitely just come out here, check it out, you know, do the tasting, all that, and definitely subscribe. I'll see you guys later.